Let me say something that might surprise you. Most investors don't fail because they pick the wrong ETF. They fail because they use the right ETF in the wrong way. ETFs are powerful tools, as we all know, but misused, they quietly destroy returns while making people feel like they've invested correctly. So today, I'm going to break down the most common ETFs mistake that I see, the ones that don't look dangerous, but cost people hundreds and thousands and sometimes millions of dollars over time. And more importantly, I'm going to show you what smart ETFs investors do differently. No gatekeeping at all in this episode. Stay with me to the end. This one matters a lot. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Jamil Frazier. I'm a former welfare kid who built a 9-figure business, became a multi-millionaire and accredited investor by age 38. And now I teach families and entrepreneurs how to build wealth, create income, and invest with confidence and shift their financial future. Now, if that's something that you want, you're in the right place. So let's dive into it. Mistake number 1, over trading. Say it with me. This is by far the most common mistake that I see, and most people don't even realize they're doing it. I had a student join my inner circle recently, and I told him to show me what he was invested in, and right away I saw what his problem was: over trading. Now, ETFs are designed for long-term ownership, but people trade them like meme stocks. They buy, they sell, they rotate, they react. Data consistently shows that the more frequently investors trade, the worse their returns are. Now, why is that? Because you miss compounding, you mistime markets, and you replace patience with activity. ETFs reward restraint, not motion. So if you're constantly doing something with your ETF portfolio, you're probably hurting it. Mistake number 2, chasing last year's winners. This one actually feels logical, like what I'm doing makes sense, which is why it's dangerous. So people say this ETF crushed it last year, or I missed out, or I should buy now. And this actually happened in 2024. I had a tech ETF like SMH that was up 71%, or WUJI, which was up 65%. Those two ETFs went crazy. Lots of people invested in those same two in 2025 thinking they were gonna have the same type of performance, and guess what? They didn't. So historically, top performing funds in one year often underperform the next year that follows it. So markets rotate all the time. Leadership changes, momentum fades. So chasing performance is how people buy high, sell low, and repeat that cycle over and over again. Smart investors don't chase returns. They build allocations. All right, mistake number 3, owning way too many ETFs. This one looks sophisticated. This is the one where we can go show our friends all the things that we're invested in. And I see portfolios all the time with 15 ETFs, 20 ETFs, sometimes more. And every time I see it, I'm thinking, what are you doing? So here's the truth. Once you pass a certain point, more diversification actually reduces clarity and conviction. ETFs overlap, winners get diluted, and decision-making gets harder in downturns. Owning VOO or VTI or SPY or IVV and ITOT at the same time is not diversification. It's literally redundancy. Most investors only need 2 or maybe even 4 ETFs chosen intentionally. Mistake number 4, ignoring fees. Now this one is one that is often overlooked because we don't really know how to analyze fees. This one, I got to tell you, is one of the biggest ones. It's literally huge. So hear my heart on this one. Fees look small, 0.5%, 1%. Jamil, who cares? But over 30 years, high fees can quietly consume hundreds and thousands of dollars lost in compounding. That's money you never see, money that never compounds, money that disappears silently. So low cost is one of the biggest advantages ETFs offer, but if you have a million ETFs, then you're racking up the cost without even thinking of it. Ignoring fees mean giving that advantage away. Mistake number 5, using ETFs without a goal. This one is subtle, but deadly. People say, I bought this ETF because it's good. I heard about it online. My friend owns it. Jamil has this one, but they can't answer, what is this money actually for? Income, or is it for growth? Are you holding it for 5 years or for 30 years? Is it a core ETF for you or is it a satellite ETF? Without a goal, every market move feels personal. ETFs don't replace thinking, they require clarity. Mistake number 6, panic selling during downturns. This is the most expensive mistake of them all. If you do this, I kind of want you to slap yourself a little bit. Repeat after me, don't be like them. And who's them? Dumb people. Now, markets drop, your fear spikes, headlines scream, people sell. Here's the thing, missing just 10 best market days over a 20-year period can reduce returns by over 50%. That's too expensive. And those best days often happen right after the worst days. When fear is the highest, when people are sitting in cash, ETFs are designed to survive downturns. Selling during fear defeats the entire purpose. Mistake number 7, sitting in cash for too long. People think cash is safe. It is not. Inflation quietly erodes purchasing power every single year. While people wait for the next perfect entry or that next crash or more certainty, markets move on without them. Cash doesn't compound, ownership does. There's nothing worse than lazy money. Money needs to be like employees for you. I actually wrote a whole book on this called The Freedman and the Oak Tree. So this book is going to show you how to turn that cash into leverage. Mistake number 8, confusing simplicity with laziness. Some people think if it's simple, then I must not be that smart. That is the wrong line of thinking. Complexity makes people feel intelligent. Simplicity makes people wealthy. ETFs are not lazy investing. They are disciplined investing. I have over 2.5 million invested in ETFs. And the number one skill that I've learned is how to be strategically lazy, how to literally do nothing. Okay, so we know what not to do. Let me tell you about what smart ETFs investors actually do differently. So the first thing that smart ETFs investors do is they choose clear goals. They don't start with tickers, they start with intent. Do I want income? Do I want growth, stability, or do I want freedom? When the goal is clear, market noise fades. Without a goal though, every dip is going to feel like a failure. They also choose realistic timelines. Smart investors match their ETFs to time, not emotions. Now, money that's needed in a 5-year time period is not going to be invested the same way that money that can grow over a 30-year horizon. Time determines risk, not confidence. They also pick a few ETFs intentionally. They don't collect ETFs like a whole bunch of people do. They choose 2 or maybe even 4 ETFs that work together. This gives less complexity, creates more conviction, fewer emotional decisions, which is going to give you better long-term results. They automate contributions. They remove willpower from the process so that investing becomes automatic, not optional. Automation turns investing from a decision into a system, and systems beat motivation every single time. They also ignore the noise. They understand that news is designed to create emotions, not wealth. They don't react to elections or predictions or fear cycles. They literally stick to the plan. They stay invested during downturns. They understand that downturns are not flaws of the market. They are actually the price of admission. They understand that staying patient during losses is the way to go, and staying invested allows recovery to actually work. They rebalance with logic, not emotion. They rebalance calmly when allocations drift, not because the market is scary, but because discipline requires maintenance. Rebalancing isn't timing, it's risk management. One of my favorite things that they do is they think in decades, not in days or years. So they literally zoom out. They don't obsess over this quarter or this headline, because wealth is built slowly, then all at once. They understand ownership beats activity. Trading feels productive, but ownership actually is productive. ETFs reward patience, consistency, and restraint, not excitement. They focus on behavior, not brilliance. They don't try to be the smartest investor in the room. They actually try to be the most consistent, the most disciplined, and the least emotional, because investing success isn't about IQ. It is literally all about behavior over time. So as we close this episode out, ETFs don't destroy returns. Behavior does. Overtrading, chasing hype, overcomplicating things, selling during fear, waiting too long in cash. I want to encourage you to avoid those mistakes. And ETFs quietly do exactly what they were designed to do. Help you build wealth. Well, friends, there you have it. ETFs don't fail people. People fail ETFs. Now, if you want help creating a simple income producing system built on discipline instead of emotion, then I invite you to sign up for my next 1 Day to Wealth free investing class. The link is right here in the description. And I want to shout out David and Nicole Williams, Corinne Potter, Will Gamarino, and Lauren Gilbert for joining my inner circle this past week. And if this episode has brought you value at all, please consider liking this episode, subscribing to the channel, and drop a comment below on which ETF mistake have you made or which proper habit will you start to adopt. Until the next time, say it with me, no lazy money.